Welcome to our weekly updates. Lots of updates today. Let's go. So this is me, Mamba. This is a big thing, right? In the end of last year, there was a publication, gated linear, hold on, no, this one, Mamba, linear time sequence modeling with selective state spaces. And after that, people started using the same approach, creating custom models, and it looks like they're getting great results. So this is the way to the future. Probably you will see a lot of large language models restructured, re-architectured using this approach. So let me explain again what it is. We spoke about it. So there is a term, SSM, state space sequence models, and also S4, which is structured state space for sequence modeling. But the idea, like, this actually means nothing. All it is, it's sequence modeling. No, what I want to say, it's any recurrent process with a latent space. Like, for example, you have a sequence of, I don't know, you have audio, you have maybe text, so you have a sequence of some elements, and you want to convert them into some hidden representation, some latent representation. And then maybe you convert this latent representation into another form. Like, for example, you translate from one language to another, right? And originally, when people started doing this, they invented what's called a recurrent neural network. Recurrent neural networks had problem that when you have many elements in the chain, so think about it as a linear chain of elements. If you start doing training, doing back propagation, going forward, backward, forward, backward, on the way back, it already forgot what the signal was, like how you correct the error. It was the problem of vanishing gradients. And people solved it by using so-called gated networks. And the idea of gated networks, which is LSTMs first and then GRUs, hello? Yeah. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Yes, thank you. The idea of gated networks is that you don't keep all information. You select what to keep. You have gates which open or close. And training of the model is to make decisions how these gates are opening and closing. Now, if you doing sequence modeling, it's art of compressing context into smaller state, in hidden state, for example, by selecting, like using the gates, and then using it to predict the output sequence. Now, transformers are using attention mechanism. Attention builds a quadratic matrix n by n, and it doesn't compress anything, unfortunately. And that's the problem, right? As your sequences become longer, it takes a lot of parameters, it takes a lot of memory, so it's a problem. So Mamba tries to solve this problem. How? Similar to how it was done for RRNs, meaning by providing a mechanism to select what to keep and what not to keep. Somebody needs to be muted. Hold on a second. Who is not muted?
Maybe me, Sander. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Mamba, two things. One, it provides a selection mechanism to filter out irrelevant information. So it's like a gating mechanism in LSTMs. And also a hardware-aware algorithm that computes a model recurrently but does not materialize in the expanded state, optimizing for GPU memory layouts. So this is genius work. And this was done in December. And then, so you see it says Mamba inference is 5 times faster than transformers. It scales linearly instead of quadratic with the length of the sequence. After that, I found 3 more papers published recently. One is gated linear attention transformers with hardware efficient training as 5 authors, MIT, IBM. Again, results are very good. Then mixture of experts model using Mamba. And this is great. And again, it's better than transformer-based mixture of experts. So this is great. And it takes less time to train. And then UMamba, enhancing long-range dependency for biomedical image segmentation. And again, it outperforms state-of-the-art CNN-based convolutional neural network, CNN, based and transformer-based segmentation networks. So it looks like Mamba will be very, very famous and used everywhere very soon. Okay, next, we had a meeting with those two students from Moscow Physics Technology Institute, and I spoke about their work last week. But then I looked closer at this paper and, oh, they're from the same institute. So I contacted them and we spoke, and this is amazing. The guys are on fourth year in the college, and they're still passing exams and learning programming and whatever, but they're already publishing at Archive, and they did this very good and elegant work. And the idea is that if you have a model which was already trained, and when you do inference, so you provide something to the first layer on the input, and then it goes second layer, third layer, whatever, until it reaches the end. And the network may have tens or even like 100 layers. So as you go through those layers, you can load them into GPU memory just in time when you will need it, right? So you kind of thread the model through the GPU memory. And this way you can have small GPU memory and work with the large model. So they showed how they can use Mixtral and on a small laptop with NVIDIA 3060, which is really average performance laptop, nothing special, with only 12 gigabyte of video memory, and they were able to run this model. I think it's very elegant, and especially for their age, it's a great achievement. Deepinfra.com. Several weeks ago, I was providing this table, which is on the bottom right, which shows how much you would pay for a million of tokens for input and output using large language models. And as you see, Anyscale was a champion to run Mixtral mixture of expert model. So it's 50 cents per million input and 50 cents per million output. So total is 1. But deep infra, like it's only half of this price. So it's 27 cents in, 27 cents out. So it's a new champion of low price for a really good model. And by the way, look here, you have $1, or here we will have like 54 cents, and compare it with $40 for GPT-4 Turbo, right? And GPT-4 is not much better than Mixtral, actually. We will see it in some slides later. Okay, so here are some links. This is the graph, shows how prices go down. And Latent.Space, I really recommend you to go there and subscribe. This is a very good source of information. And in their latest release, they talk about 4 wars of AI stack, which is data, GPU power and pricing, multimodality, and RAG, which is retrieval augmented generation. So it's vector databases, frameworks which may be used, operations, and there are some interesting new solutions. Like, for example, dynamic LLM router. You have multiple models and it dynamically chooses the one which will give you better performance at this time. So Latent.Space is a technical newsletter. It's really, really good. Highly recommend. Next, Open Interpreter. This is really fun. So people install Open Interpreter, and then you do interpreter, and you get a prompt right there in your terminal, and then you can talk to it. You can tell it to do something, like, for example, to run, like, I don't know, list the files. You know what? Actually, let me just do it. Okay, so this is the terminal. Okay, you have to switch to bash because it doesn't work in fish. My default is fish. So if I do pip install open interpreter, it will just, everything is already installed. So nothing here. So let me type, interpreter. Okay, it will give me the prompt, and then I will say run command to switch to desktop directory, for example. And all right, so it talks to me, like large language model talks to me. The current directory is user selector, whatever. Let's execute the shell script. It gives me the script. Would you like to run this code? I say yes, and it will run it. I'm sorry, but due to design limitations, I'm unable to persistently change the current working directory. Okay, this is strange. Okay, run command to list files under desktop slash. I think I have left test directory or something like this. All right. Okay. So it talks to me. You can use this to run Unix, but you can also do Python, no such file or directory. Okay, fine. Okay. Let test, make sure, why it says let test? It was left test. Okay, let me check what it is. It's actually left test. Yeah, I misspelled. Sorry, it is left test. Let's see if it will understand. No problem. Okay, so it revives. If you give it more complex assignments, let's execute the shell script. Okay, go ahead. Why it's not doing anything? Left test. Would you like to run? Yes. Okay, it shows me that there are some files there. Okay, good. So let me close it. It's actually quite powerful, and you can ask it like complex questions, and it will write code for you. You can also give it an image, and for example, ask it to create HTML, CSS, whatever, to reproduce it. Here, there is a very good demonstration. There is a YouTube video which goes through this. So it has vision mode where you can give it an image and then tell it to, let's say, create the same image, create HTML, which will create the same interface or something like that. If you want to run a local LLM, because right now I was using GPT, OpenAI, you can give it option and then it will use local model. So it's not difficult to set up. Anyway, let's hold on. Did I quit here? Okay. So GPT Store is live. You can create a GPT as a developer and put it in the store. And then they promised maybe next month, well, in the first quarter, that they will create the system to compensate you based on how many people are using. You'll be compensated. It's not live yet, but you can already become a builder and you can already put the GPTs in the store, and they already have 12,000 tools in the store. And people already created search engines, so you can search GPTs by some keywords. For example, I looked for tools related to legal profession, and there are multiple GPTs available. As a developer, you have to be careful because people, when they start using your GPT, they can prompt to release some information. Like, for example, your GPT may use a specialized system prompt or maybe some files, and people will be able to use them to actually read them, to download them. So, but there are certain ways how you can protect. So this is a video which talks about that. So as a developer, you have to be careful. Okay. Miscellaneous. Well, Mistral published their paper about Mixtral of experts. Very nice paper. So here are some links and video which goes through the paper. And yeah, you can go through this, the Hugging Face page, 26 authors. So it's basically the whole company. Deloitte. Well, Deloitte is the largest professional services network, right? 65 billion annual revenues, about 500,000 employees. They are very big at AI. They have something called Deloitte AI Institute. They have multiple platforms. Like you go to their website, you'll be amazed how many things AI they have and work on. I tried to confirm that they actually train their own model. They definitely fine-tuning other models, but probably also training their own models. They hiring AI talent. There are a lot of positions. Okay. OpenAI strikes back against New York Times. So what happened? They accuse well, they say that it's impossible to train a large language model without using copyrighted data. Well, unless you own it, like you own Twitter or something. But they say that the way they use it, it was fair use. And they accuse New York Times for faking their evidence, for manipulating prompts. Like if you read the original legal paper, which New York Times filed against OpenAI, they provide some examples. So OpenAI says that this is fake. So this was staged, and they basically saying that New York Times is lying to push their own agenda and even demands the destruction of OpenAI LLMs. And also making points that LLMs are not storing the original text. They store statistical data about different words, and it's not copyrightable. If you know US copyright law, if you take original document or picture, whatever, and then you change it, add something to it, whatever, it's already not copyrightable, and you can copyright it yourself. And here you don't even store the text. You store statistical information about multiple texts. Okay. AutoGen Studio. Okay, this is the tool from Microsoft. AutoGen is a framework, a tool where you can create teams of LLM agents working together. So this is a development tool. This was a cry on Twitter. Somebody says, not a single commercial LLM can sort the list of 100 references according to the last name of the first author. Like this is example. You have references and how you would sort them. And yeah, this is true. Tech GPT-2, a large language model for knowledge graph construction. So nowadays, when people do RAG, retrieval augmented generation, instead of just a regular SQL database or a vector database, people more and more create vector database and create knowledge graph. So how you build it? So this is a publication. You see, it's an archive. Importance of proper prompting. So this is very interesting article. What they say is, depending how you do prompts, the error of the tests may vary widely. So in this, for Llama, it was from 4% to 88%, or for GPT 3.5 from 47 to 85%. So everything depends on the prompts. Prompt engineering is very, very important. Okay. Pennsylvania State decided to partner with OpenAI, and Pennsylvania State employees will start using ChatGPT. And they have a ChatGPT enterprise account, which provides security and so on. This is the first example where government uses ChatGPT. Exciting, I guess. Okay, Jensen Tung. This is the guy. Go to his YouTube channel, subscribe. It's really funny and it's really useful. He talks about how you can monetize large language models, and multiple videos, very engaging, and he's a very smart guy, like really fun. Go subscribe. AI agents working together to analyze, discuss, and reach consensus on medical topics. Remember this famous about medical doctors, I concur. Okay, so here you can create teams of quote medical doctors, and they talk and discuss and whatever and come to conclusions about medical topics together. So it's very interesting. It's open, you see on GitHub. OpenAI says it's impossible to create useful AI models, so you can read it here. Google open sourced this interesting model. It's called Switch Transformer C2048 expert. So it has 2,000 experts. It's total 1.6 trillion parameters. Like, this is absolutely amazing. This model was actually created 2 years ago, but now they decided to open source it. I am not sure about use cases and how important it is, but well, it's just interesting that this model exists with huge number of experts in parallel. Guide. This is very interesting. So it builds the documentation as a video and makes it very, very fast. So this is a great thing. Now, there is a startup called 1x.tech. They just received $100 million, and what they do, they create humanoid robots which can do, I don't know, home chores, can clean stuff, cook, whatever. So this is very interesting. You can go to their website or just search for recent publications about that. Okay, local PDF question answering. Suppose you have well, I put this because I use a program which is called PDF Expert. This is like Adobe Acrobat Reader, but it also has some limited editing functionality. It's a nice light application. It is for Mac. And they suddenly said that, well, they can do AI. Now the latest version has AI inside, so it can generate summary, list main points, generate keywords, generate hashtags, and answer your questions about the document. Now, there is also an editor called BBEdit, which existed on Mac platform for, gosh, from the very beginning, I don't know, 30 years, maybe more. And it's just a regular text editor, but suddenly they have AI features built in. What I see is that, well, Microsoft Office, right? It has Copilot in all the applications. So all applications become AI enabled, and let's say accounting, right? QuickBooks or whatever. And it goes very, very fast. So I think literally in few months, it will be more difficult to have application without AI. Like all commercial applications probably will have AI in some sort. But let's say you want to do it on the cheap on your computer, right? So there are several applications you can use. For example, ChatD. ChatD, you see it's GitHub, it's open source. And what it is, it's an application. It looks like application. It's written in JavaScript using Electron to make application of it. And under the hood, it uses a llama, so it can use multiple models. So for example, you want to use Mistral 7B, which is a good small model. And because it's JavaScript, it can run on Mac, Windows, and Linux. Boom. You have application, you can chat with it, you can ask it to read PDF and then talk about this PDF, make you a summary, all this functionality you can get it open source, because Mistral is open source, ChatD is open source. Another solution is H2O GPT. So there is a famous company, H2O.AI, and they have this framework. Again, it's on GitHub, and you can use it. It's very, very flexible, and you can extend it using Python frameworks. And there are other solutions like private GPT, local GPT, GPT for all, and so on. So it's becoming easier. Okay, this is really exciting. These two guys, I mean, I guess there are probably more people, I don't know how many people, but this company was created in 2020. There are two people, Jesse Liu, I guess he's a CEO and founder, and he's from Y Combinator, and Priyan Liao, and he is a Kaggle Grandmaster and researcher in Carnegie Mellon. And they created this device, which is called Rabbit R1. So it's a small physical device. You can talk to it and tell it what you want it to do, and it will go and do it. It was trained to operate different applications. like computer applications. So you can ask it to go and shop on Amazon, or order Uber, or make a trip, order tickets, order rentals, and this is amazing. It's really, it can become your personal assistant, and it's trainable. You can train it on operations which you need to do often. So the company recently received 30 million in funding. They're in LA, right? And yeah, so this is amazing, very engaging. I provided several links to videos, and yeah, just please watch it. They have a keynote. It's about 20 something minutes, and it's just unbelievable. What's interesting, they didn't use some standard large language model. They actually created their own model. It's called LAM, Large Action Model, and it's very brave, the project, but the results are amazing. In the first 2 days, they sold 20,000 devices. I read him on Twitter. He said he expected 500 orders and they got 20,000, so they wasn't prepared for that. Anyway, another big event this week is Consumer Electronic Show. It was in Las Vegas. Today is last day. More than 130,000 attendees, huge territory, a lot of exhibitions, a lot of startups, 12 official venues, right? I really recommend this video because I like Patrick. Patrick Shu, he's known as Tech Lead on YouTube. He talks about his experience and what he's seen. Well, he says that, well, it's a lot of talking. Everybody talks AI, like AI is everywhere, but not so much implementation yet. A lot of partnerships with the companies which would do AI or electronics, and companies which would do some consumer functionality, like, for example, auto plus electronics, drone delivery, kitchen AI, different wearables, and so on. Okay, Hugging Face leaderboard. This is the top of the leaderboard. So what do we see here in terms of parameters? Now we again see bigger models, and here are some smaller models. And 01.AI from China, Mixtral from Europe, right? Alibaba, China, and here is Llama, right? So this is the top. They continue to get better, but I don't know if we can trust it because maybe some leakage of training data, test data into the training data. But still interesting. Here, the crowdsourced Arena leaderboard, they updated several days ago. And what I want to show you that here we have Mistral Medium. So from Mistral company, we have Mistral Medium, we have Mixtral here, and then we have regular Mistral 7B. So this is the top 25 entries from the leaderboard. And Mistral, like the only other model which is better than Mistral Medium is GPT-4. And GPT 3.5 is here. And the regular Mixtral, which you can run on your laptop, is better than GPT 3.5. Now, if you look at these circles, the green circles mean it's open source. Mistral Medium, they haven't released it in open source, it's only via API. I tried to find information about the architecture of Mistral Medium, and people think that it is a mixture of experts, but instead of having 8 of experts like in this Mixtral 8x7, some people think maybe it's like 32 times 7, or maybe it is maybe 8, but each one is 30 billion. Well, nobody knows. And by the way, GPT-4 is also a mixture of experts. So the top is, it's exciting that Mistral is better than Claude. Actually, I recently stopped using Claude because I found on many occasions I cannot trust it. But anyway, here you have ELO score, right? So Crowd Arena is based on battling. You ask question and two models give their answers and you choose which answer is better, right? So that means that this model won this particular battle. They already accumulated more than 200,000 votes. And yeah, so this is this. Another leaderboard, it's called YALL, yet another LLM leaderboard. And here is the Hugging Face page for it. And these are some models. You will see the same entries. Okay, Nous Research. So this particular leaderboard was made using some tooling created by Nous Research. Nous Research just received $5 million financing. Well, it's very interesting because it's a distributed group of people who were doing different LLMs and different tools, and then it's not like an official company. And then suddenly they got financing. Well, maybe they registered the company to receive financing. I don't know, but this is really exciting. Okay, these are different tools. I usually show this on every presentation. I added something here, not sure what, but okay, let's go to the next one. Are mass layoffs coming soon? Well, there's a lot of conversations because people say, well, there is a recession, and also because of AI, companies are trying to cut costs using AI, using automation, and firing people. And there are certain professions which definitely you see a lot of firing, like, for example, translation. Well, LLMs now do translations perfectly, like almost. So most of the translation work can be done by LLM now, or let's say data entry, or call center representatives, bank tellers, fraud detection specialists, meteorologists, manufacturing, like assembly jobs, defect detection, travel agents assistants. All this already can be automated, and if it's not automated yet, it will be automated very soon. Amazon and Walmart, lots of human-free solutions. So there is a new term, human-free, right? And for example, picking, packing, shipping, you know, Amazon has everything automated, and so does Walmart. And there are many professions which are at risk. Google just cut over 1,000 jobs in its voice assistance hardware teams as Fitbit founders leave. Okay, so this is the article about that. But there are also some new jobs, and this is a good reading about it. You can think about becoming AI operations or AI engineer, and AI engineer is not ML engineer, so this is different. ML engineer, it's usually a lot of programming and technology. AI engineer is, I don't know, prompt engineering, like it's different, and AI operations. So here's some reading about that. In some companies, the managers explicitly warn their people that they may be pushed out of the company, lose their jobs, if they will not learn and start using AI to become more productive. Well, it's definitely, if you're using AI, you're becoming more productive. So that. How to integrate AI tools into real workflows? Well, this is what managers thinking about, or they should think about that. So what should people learn? Who should business hire? Where should business start? Why do certain things? Why not do other things? What ethical guide rails should exist, and so on. So new jobs. Archive.org. I want to tell about this. I think I spoke a year or two about this, but there's a lot of publications, right? Goes to archive now. They have 2.4 million articles, right? So this is this website, archive.org. This is the person who put this website together. So he's a physics professor. And this is a short history about archive. And you can write a paper and submit it. It's very easy. In science, before archive, the way people were publishing, they were submitting a publication to a magazine, to a scientific journal, and then it went through editing and reviews, and it would take maybe 6 months or a year, and then it will be eventually published or rejected. But nowadays, it's almost no rejection. You can just create an account with your email, username, and password, follow some guidelines to create, let's say, a PDF, and submit it, like using simple process. And people submit a lot of articles, and then some articles become famous and people download them all the time, and some articles nobody is interested in. So instead of editing, now just community decides what's good and what's not good, and you don't need external censorship. So it's good. Now, if you look at articles related to large language models, the common subjects are machine learning, which is computer science, LG, artificial intelligence, computer science, AI, and computational language, computer science, CL. So if you want to write an article and submit it, you will have to choose which categories, and these are the subjects. Okay, tiny large language models. We spoke about huge language models, and we use also 7 billion parameters models like Mistral and others. But there are also models which are smaller, like 1 billion parameters, 3 billion parameters, or even smaller. So here is a good video and corresponding publication which compares several models, and here is a small list. So Phi2, 2.7 billion parameters from Microsoft. The previous version was like twice smaller, but they, I guess, decided to make it a little bit bigger. A DeepSeek Coder, again, very excited, trained on 2 tera tokens. Okay, Tiny Llama, 1 billion parameters, Trillis Tiny. It is good at executing functions. Stable Zephyr, 3 billion parameters, and Mixtral. So this is a new thing, was just published, not a lot of experience with that, but it's just, I wanted to put it here because it's interesting. So you take 2 5.2 models and you use them as mixture of experts, kind of like Mixtral, and it performs pretty well. So these are the small models. But then if you go small, I mean like 1 up to 3 billion parameters. But if you go with 7 billion parameters, suddenly you have much better models based on Mistral or similar, right? And here is several models which you can use. Here is if you want to train the model from scratch, like using NumPy or whatever. So this is a very good video where he actually does that. So he creates a model to run on your phone. And this is another project to run on your phone. So this is about small models. I guess you don't really need to use a very, very small model, because if you can run 7B model on your phone, this model will be much better than the smaller ones. Okay, long context retrieval models with Monarch Mixer. Okay, so what we're talking about. So this is a recent model which is attention free and MLP free. Okay, and you see it's very new, it was just published, and it is long context, and yeah, I don't have much to say because I haven't tried it, but it's just interesting that it is attention free models for I guess for encoding, for extraction. Okay, distilling language models. This is interesting work. So the idea is you use bigger model to train smaller model. So like you have a teacher and a student, and if there is a very big gap, let's say in size, between teacher and student, it doesn't work very well. So apparently there is certain optimum, like how far they should be from each other. And well, they tried different variations and kind of found this optimum, and they were able to take, like, for example, 7 billion parameter teacher and to train 3 billion parameters student and get very, very good result of this training. Okay, next is not related to AI at all, but I just want to mention this. So there's a website, Cloudflare.com, and what it is, it's an American company which is a content delivery network. So think about servers all over the place in different countries, in different states, which is content delivery network. But what they also do, they protect your website from denial of service attacks. So they provide cybersecurity. I really like them because this service is so good. You go there, first of all, you can register your website there. So you go there, you check if the website already registered or not, you try different things, it gives you some suggestions, and you register. It's very cheap. Like I registered one yesterday, it's less than $10 for .com domain. Then set up DNS and redirects. It's very easy and it does a lot of work for you. You can easily integrate it with your Google Workspace. So if you want to have like your email, like lev@yourdomain.com, right? And it will talk, Google will talk to Cloudflare, set up everything automatically. And then the magic, you can host a simple website up to 25 megabytes, and it's really, really easy. You can create it locally, so you have a directory on your computer where you have your HTML pages and images and CSS and JavaScript, whatever you need. And then you just drag and drop, like upload this directory or make a zip file and upload it, like zip, whatever. Or you can get the files if you have them on your GitHub, you can connect. And it's very easy, and boom, your website is live and working. So pleasant for a small static website. If you don't need like a server component in it, like for example, if you want to put somewhere your life, your picture, like your profile, your resume, you can easily do this for free using Cloudflare. Okay, this is it for today.